I believe Darrin Neal's breaking first versus Jason McPhearson. What a great matchup. This is the final 8 in the winner's bracket. Whew. Cold back here, isn't it? I tell you what, I could use a little more eating in my life. You know they got pretty good food here. Pretty good? I love their chicken finger fried salad. Fried chicken finger salad. I don't know. The one that's got the fried chicken, not the grilled chicken. Oh, it's no finger licking good. Trademark. All right, there's the first break. Darrin doesn't get anything to go. What do you say, Jake? This is improvements from some of the previous tournaments, don't you think, with the live stream? I tell you what, it might be 2 years from now, but we're going to be a semi-professional someday, right? Yeah. When you got Crazy Bob announcing, it's never going to sound too good. Is Nate playing this table again? Stephanie Thompson asks. I do not know. I cannot foretell the future. He will probably not play it until he would win a couple more matches. So if he wins the matches, he'll probably get back up here. Chris Dill says, what up, Cheryl? My name's not Cheryl, Chris Dill. This is about to be a Moscone Cup Championship with McPhearson coming out on top. That looks like Matt Fingston is predicting a winner in Jason McPhearson. Corey Grant says you sound good, crazy. Oh, Crazy Bob. Well, I tell you what, get your ears checked. Ryan Stevens joined us. Ryan Stevens could pass for a poor man's Jake Worth. That might be the most ridiculous statement I've ever said on Q Billiards Broadcast Network. Love me some Ryan Stevens. I'm just kidding. You're not terrible like Jake Worth. Jake Worth's sitting right next to me, just for you guys to know. Let you guys know that I don't talk behind someone's back, but we'll talk about them very closely sitting next to them. Yeah, they gotta look the other way. I gotta be able to duck. Ray Schultz is actually very famous for hating the live stream audio commentary of Crazy Bob by continually stating that he mutes his computer when he's listening to the program. Now, I will say, he does say that he mutes it, but he always answers when I say something to him. So, you know, it's just kind of a... All right, I think he's probably going to go off this 1 ball or 2 ball tip movement, because that's his trouble ball. And that's exactly why I'm sitting here in the broadcast booth, folks. And he's up there playing, because I had no idea. I guess he'll use the 4 ball, yeah. 3 ball, 4 ball, 5 ball, 5 ball maybe. You know what? I'm going to learn my colors, my shapes, and my letters by next week. All right, we're going to get a different camera angle here. See if we can get a better view of this. Darrin Neal is a tall human being, and what he does is when he gets at the bottom of the table, he creates a total Darrin Neal eclipse of the table. So we want to make sure that we switch angles to appropriately. Ooh, that's going to be an unforced error. Frank Ulrich joined. We could say paid customer number 1, Frank Ulrich. just he's got secret moves like he moves. We paused the YouTube channel version, so this is live here, and this is just paused. But we play it every once in a while just to make sure that we know how many people we have watching. We've dropped in viewership, so it's something to point out. Even though Frank Ulrich just joined us, we'd like a lot of people to go ahead and share this, because what's going on here is a great matchup. Jason McPhearson is one of the top players you'll ever run into. Former VNEA national champion in 9-ball. That ain't hard. That ain't easy, folks. That ain't easy. Please share and share like. Sharing is caring. It's what keeps the viewership up, the sponsorship up, the rattling, the ball at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Jason is actually going to be very frustrated with that, because he got the breakout he was looking for to get the rack. Now, this ball's an interesting ball because it's not really lined up to go into the side pocket, but if he comes on the left-hand face of it, he might get throw enough to get it to throw into the pocket. We shall see. Again, this is something that I theorize because I've never made a shot in my life. But he's going to go with the 4 first, come back behind it, get the breakout maybe. Missing that breakout might cost him. Now the 5 is still a little bit trouble, so I mean, he's got some bank options for it, but looks like we've got a whole crew of people joining in. Trey Woodall, Terry Kurt, Ronnie Brown. They're all coming here like an army of sharing video people. You just cannot stop the train rolling with the On-Cue Broadcast Network. I believe I'm starting to lose my mind. Well, that is going to be a tough one. This is actually a really mistake-laden first game. And both of these players are new to the On-Cue TV table, so haven't seen Jason McPhearson out in a while. Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm out. I play terrible. I only get in here so I get a chance to play something I've never played before, so I can learn a little something. The only thing I know well is talking. Oh, yeah. And then they laugh at me. Oh, you got the pool? You stole it from me. I was trying to get it. Yeah, well, I was your horse, and I tell you what, your horse failed you. I tell you what, I gave old Louis DeMarco some fits, though. Almost won 3 games. I played one of the best matches of my entire life and lost 5-0. Yeah. Do you agree with me? Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've never made a ball in my life, so the defense stuff was all right, but then the finishing up was just a little bit weak. So we are violating the prime directive from Star Trek right now by talking to players who are actually in the match. On the live table, yeah. This is a... But since he got me in the cow cut, I can see why he would be coming over here to be to cast aspersions on my character for losing in the early rounds. Well, I'd probably give it to him if he really asked a lot. I was going to say, it's something like that. Yep. I tell you what, we can make that happen. If you drink it with me, we'll do it. All right, Jason makes the wide open table look easy, but as he is prone to do, just takes an 8-ball in the corner pocket. Nothing's taken for granted, but you can best believe that he's probably going to get there. He did come off the bottom face of it, so that was a little bit closer than one might think. Let's look at the big score. It's brought to you by O'Brien's. Where's O'Brien's? It's on the east side of Evansville. What is O'Brien's? It's the home of your 2018 Tri-State 8-Ball Championship. It's the home of the On-Cue BCA Pool League out of Evansville. Also with Doc's and Bob's Lounge also running a pool league out of there. Last year's On-Cue 2017 Tri-State 9-Ball Championships. O'Brien's is stepping to the plate for pool, folks. Come in here. Free pool on 11 to 3 weekdays. Purchase yourself one of the lunch specials and you get all the pool you can drink during that time. Jason McPhearson jumps up, draws first blood. Let's see where he goes. I'm not sure what they're drinking down in Kentucky. Well, I mean, it's bourbon. I say there's something in the water. These guys from Kentucky come up here and play lights out. Yeah, he really hit him really solid center, but the balls kind of kept pushing the cue balls into a weird spot. But as it turns out, that situation caused a ball to drop. Yeah, the 9-10 is really the story of this if he goes for stripes. As I just mentioned, I was predicting a certain shot earlier, and it didn't come to fruition. So these guys know how to play. I don't. I'm out. But I'll still give you some commentary that I think is valuable in my own mind. He's going to go for the breakout right off the bat. Doesn't quite get there. I mean, I'm guessing the 9 goes into the bottom left-hand corner. Maybe a different view will tell that a little tale a little bit better. Yeah, it's ugly. Yeah, draw it back. So yeah, I'm not sure what happens in the Starship or Federation or whatever they call that in Star Trek when you violate the Prime Directive. I mean, do you get your like Starship taken away from you? Well, shit. He just went for it again, and guess what? Strike 2. They do say third time's a charm. Now, a shot here that I've never missed is the carom off of the 9 to make the 13 ball in this corner. Now, I'm not going to take that shot, and he's not going to take that shot, but I've never missed it because I've never taken it. Oh, he got it clipped. That's enough to break it out. Oh, but he gets hidden. His insurance ball got hidden. All right. The official Uber driver of On-Cue Billiards has just joined the viewership. Chris Thomas. We'd like to welcome Chris Thomas to the live stream, making sure everybody gets home safely. I certainly hope it wasn't. And he gets the hit, but he does not make the ball into the side pocket. Yeah, I think the 8 does really hurt Darrin here, so we might see what kind of stab he takes at working with that. There's a lot of options, though, with it to play safe with it, though, so he can set himself up for a safe right here, come back over. Yep. He didn't exactly like being locked up on that 6 ball, though. Apparently, I owe him a shot. That's what happens when you violate the Prime Directive. Well, the Prime Directive, you're supposed to alien cultures, you see, when James T. Kirk. Yeah, probably. Oh no, he's kicking for the make. Oh, and he didn't get there. That's going to be tough. That's going to open up an opportunity here for Jason McPhearson to come up 2-0 in a short race to 5, admittedly. I was busy talking about Star Trek. It's just that the alien cultures are they're very sensitive to Starship Federation. I don't know what the Federation is called. I haven't watched Star Trek in like 25 years. So yes, Christopher Thomas, if you've not shared this with all of your Uber clients, make sure that you do that. Nothing makes an Uber ride fun like the OnQ Broadcast Network's live stream. Oh, that's good. That's a pretty nice shot there. Leaving him. He would have liked to get a little bit further over, I think, but I think he's going to take the cut in the side and come up table. And if he might want to draw back and come back off the side rail to get a better angle on the 8, but we'll see. And that's what he was trying to do, and he did. Let's see if that makes it. There's a little bit of an eclipse there with the 5 ball, but I think he's got enough to get it to go. And get it to go he does. Jason McPhearson jumps up 2-0. Kentucky's being well represented here. The United Federation of Planets. That's what it is. We've just had our crack research staff come in and make sure that we have our Star Trek talk correct. Look up Prime Directive. All right, here we go. An eclipse. Full eclipse. The big scoreboard on Q 2018 Tri-State 8-Ball Championship is brought to you by O'Brien Sports Bar Grill. Ooh, Starfleet General Order 1. I like that. Or General Order 1. Oh, yeah. It's a guiding principle of the United Federation of Planets prohibiting protagonists from interfering with the internal development of alien civilizations. So in other words, my universe here in the broadcast booth should not mix. Worlds should not collide. We should not be discussing the actual match with the participants. No, actually, that's why we do get along, because I do not violate the Prime Directive often. It takes a gigantic man coming over and telling me that I owe him a drink for me to violate the Prime Directives. You know it. Actually, Chris Austin is on my team on Tuesday nights. Do you know what? I think the name of our team is the 9-ball team with no name. I tried to get my team to go put their heads together and come up with something creative, but as it turns out, it's led by a crazy man. It's got Chris Austin on it. I mean, it could be there's lots of names to be had there, but the brush of destiny. It's not easy to make a hairdo like Chris Austin's. It takes the brush of destiny, gold embossed, coming down from the gods on Mount Olympus. Which is good. That's good. I think that's nice. So we've had some great matches here. These guys are more along the lines of run-out players, it's looking like. You wouldn't happen to know where Darrin Neal's from, would you? Oh, that's not good. We've got a civil war going on here. McPhearson's also from Owensboro. I know Kentucky, but nobody knew there was a south part of Owensboro. We thought it was all in the north. Well, let's make the assumption that he was leaving for the 10-ball, and that man has a hell of a lot of speed control. That is an unbelievable shot. That was his trouble the entire way, and if he can do it, he's got himself a little funny here, but he's got enough angle. He'll probably have to go off that rail over and back a little bit to come get this ball in the left-hand bottom corner pocket. So this lead will be. This is a touchy shot. This is not the easiest shot in the world. He shoots it like I wrote it up. It's almost like Crazy Bob knows how to play this game. While he may not know how to play it well, he knows how to play it. He is on top of the rules of the game. You see, Jason McPhearson has stripes, so he has to make the final 2 stripes and then the 8 ball to win this game. That's proof positive that I know how to play 8 ball. Okay, just because I drew it up like that and told him that, he's going to do the same thing with the cue ball this time. That's what I would have done, but again, I don't think that you can really question his decision-making process any more than we already have, because he was thinking to roll up off the rail here and shoot it straight down. I guess that's what he was thinking. Well, I will say this. I've never seen him miss this run out in his entire life. But I've never watched him run this run out before. Yeah, this is the first time. They say history repeats itself, but as it turns out on a pool table, it's very, very unlikely that history repeats itself for any individual player. Oh, he's going to draw back. That's going to be a... I think he just wanted to show off his power draw. Show it off he did. A nice shot there. All right, people who don't know this guy is a hell of a player. That is going to work out. That's going to put him up 3-0 for a commanding lead. This is your final 8 of the winner's bracket, possibly? I don't know. I get to forgetting stuff. Yeah, final 8 players in the winner's bracket. The winner of this match goes against Paul Age, the winner of Paul Age and Ray Schultz, which is playing on another table. Ray Schultz, another Owensboro player. Razor Ray. Frequents the on-cue tournaments quite a bit. Does quite well. All right, there's the back of Jason McPhearson's head, just in case you've never seen that. Big score, 3-0. Jason McPhearson. All right, here comes the break on the 4th rack, coming right into your TV screen. Will Freeman's head is standing above the TV. And there's Thomas Stevenson. We are in a pool hall with some of the greatest players in the tri-state area. Jason McPhearson, known for having a very good break, ends up breaking dry. We've got a man coming up next to us in the broadcast booth, putting change in the dollar in the change machine. How are you doing today? He says he's doing all right. It's like playing a very weird slot machine. Well, I don't think you lose it at all at it. It pays out 100%. Oh, well, that might be the case. I like to think my break is like a slot machine. Either something goes down, or it's all cherries, or something doesn't. Tell you what, Will Freeman was looking for some action. I think he's got a guy. Oh, he just bought quarters to go put it at a table that's already open. We should watch this happen. It's always fun to watch someone put quarters at a table that's free already. Now, that's a loss on a slot machine. Thomas Stevenson. Chuck Austin says Jaybird in the house. That he is. He ended up with a dry break here, but it's been all Jason McPhearson so far. Tyler Cordova, previous team on cue member. joining the live stream needs to share that to make sure every human being on Earth gets an opportunity to watch the OnCue Broadcast Network's live coverage of the 2018 Tri-State 8-Ball Championship. Rick Tavares sends us a happy face with eyes with hearts. Thank you. Mike Crawford, internationally renowned pool player who is known for being the captain of our three-man blind draw team up in Grayville a couple of months ago. Why is he internationally renowned for that? Because he's married to a woman from Australia, the Aussie boss, Tanya Crawford. Otherwise, he'd just be nationally known. David Orr joins us. I'd like to thank him for joining us, but I would thank him even more if he would share this with everybody he's ever met. I'd like him to take this to his kindergarten teacher like it was an apple. That's brand new material from Crazy Bob. He rattles the 3 in the bottom right-hand corner, and he's going to be frustrated with that. He's got a little bit of an issue here with this, I don't know, maroonish colored stripe ball. I don't know my numbers, know my letters, know my colors. I did graduate from kindergarten, but I was not at the top of the class. I did not color between the lines. What was that? I forgot the apple. I'm going to bring this to my kindergarten teacher. Oh, man, who was my kindergarten teacher? Miss Warlock and Miss Twistle. I don't even know if that's their names. I'm just making shit up. That's what I do. When you speak for 24 hours straight, talking to yourself, you don't always get people coming over here keeping you company. Sometimes you start talking crazy stuff about kindergarten teachers. All right, so he's got to figure out what to do with the 15 ball. That's probably going to be the story of this run out here. Yeah, but now he doesn't have a ball to help him get on this. All right, let's go back to colors again. Green. I do know green. The green is the 14 ball. That's going to be one he's now got the 14 and the 15 to contend with. And breaking the 4th wall comes Darrin Neal to watch the live stream. I'm thinking he's starting to think that this... oh, no, he doesn't think the 15 goes. He's probably going to come back and break. I tell you what, I'm going to give up thinking what he does. He shoots so well that I don't have to... yeah, I mean, I'm thinking stuff that...
Louis DeMarco and Dennis Snell, table 6.
Oh, I tell you what. I must admit. Oh, that's funny. I tell you what, Darrin Neal's going to be here all week. He's a comedy genius. Tanya Crawford, the Aussie boss, says, "You crazy, Bob." Well, yeah, that's the whole. That's my name. Don't wear it out. All right, so he does get the benefit if he does make this ball and he doesn't make that his ball, then he does leave his opponent with that natural home for the 5 ball being blocked. And the only problem with that is brought up to me very quickly, which is the 5 ball has an opportunity to go into a new home. This is like a foster child getting his first new home for this 5 ball. Brings the 7 up. That's going to work out. Oh, he dokey. I don't know about this one. He's going to have to bank it cross corner. Justin Thomas, wish you'd come down here and drink some bourbon with me. We could get on a live stream. Sounds like a good time to get that Mustang out here and roll over to O'Brien's, buy Crazy Bob a whole fistful of fire water. He comes up short. Now, this is something to point out, the different banks. If you're not familiar with red label versus blue label diamond tables, they do have a different banking angle. In fact, that's one of the major changes that the boys over in Jeffersonville, Indiana made over at Diamond Billiard Products. It's something that Diamond Billiard Products, makers of the greatest pool tables in the world, and I have in common. We're both from Jeffersonville, Indiana. The best pool tables and the best pool announcers come from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Greg Sullivan and Crazy Bob are highly likely to become BCA Hall of Fame members someday for our contributions to the game. Vocal stylings and tables. That's what I'm talking about. And your win in life there is going to have to share pictures with us because she has a nice camera taking nice stuff. Did you get me? Have you liked On Cue Billiards Facebook page? So share those with the people there. Okay. Good, that's a good deal. There you go, that'll work. Thanks. Make sure the ones of me get edited just perfect, take out my chins or whatever. This ball's a little tough. He's got to think about this. Oof. Justin Thomas says, got to work tonight and it's raining. My car ain't coming out of the garage. I tell you what, a horse is made to run, and you run a horse whether it's rain or shine. What are you talking about, my Chevy Volt? My Chevy sits in the garage every single night and gets recharged. Oh, it comes out and plays. It only gets knocked out in the third round, though. Stupid Chevy Volt ruined my pool game. All right, got to work tonight. So, okay, come and sit here in the On Cue broadcast booth. Tell you what, Jake Worth called it. I was skeptical. Jason McPhearson really comes out of that looking pretty. Looking like a Chevy Volt in the sun. I'm a turncoat. I've been a Ford guy my entire life. Had a Mustang when I was young. Now that I'm old, got me a bow tie car. But there was a time when I had a Dyna Wide Glide. Guess who sells Dyna Wide Glides here in the Evansville area? Bud's Harley Davidson, sponsor of On Cue Billiards and the 2018 Tri-State 8-Ball Championship. I don't think that was the slickest transition, but yeah, it's got to work. Oh no, Randy Reed just showed up. If Randy Reed shows up, then you know that means one thing. It's all over. It means she's going to share it with everybody, and then the entire world is going to watch this live stream. Get on your share button, Randy. He drains his center pocket to get on the hill first. Darrin Neal's got his hands full with Jason McPhearson. He's going to also get the break to come into this Hill to Zill matchup. Well, I mean, the nice thing. I tell you what, the nice thing, we'll go to the NSA and have the entire thing just, deleted for you. We're working with you, Darrin. All right, there we go. That's how the back of a guy's head looks when he's racking. So we'll go to the different view. Something I'd like to mention, Darrin's wearing a Chad Carter Custom Cues shirt. And Chad Carter is out of Owensboro, does a lot of good work down there. Seen a lot of really beautiful cues made by him. So as a guy who's made some not so beautiful looking cues, shout out to Chad Carter. Does a great job. On Cue Billiards. Your place to go. The On Cue Facebook page, for the best in live streaming in the tri-state area. All right, Jason McPhearson's break. He's had struggles with the break so far, but the struggles have ended there because he's up 4-0 against Darrin Neal. He may have heard me. I broke the prime directive again. The ball's probably heard me on that one. Chad is on his way to O'Brien's now, is what Steve Boyer says. I guess he's going to come in here and thank me for my shout-out. Actually, something I should point out, a guy who's got an actual large collection of Chad Carter cues for sale is Shane Knight, who owns Knight & Company. It's over across the street here. Really a large collection of various shafts for different cues, custom cues, high-end production cues, and arrowheads. I mean, I know arrowheads is a little bit different than pool cues, but he's got fishing lures like you wouldn't believe. I had no idea that the people had like an antique fishing lure collection scene. But I didn't know a lot. If you want antique fishing lures, there is nobody on the face of this side of Green River Road who's better than Shane Knight. Knight & Company, right next to the 2-Bit Bandit. And there's some difficulty in this rack. We've got some clustering. This is where you put your little beanie cap on and you go through and you really figure out how to 14's gonna go over there, yeah. Joined here by the manager of O'Brien's, Brian Cyphers. The On Cue broadcast booth is filled with guests day in and day out. And he's stepping up, making sure everybody here at O'Brien's is taken care of. I'd like to thank Brian. Brian and Brian. Oh, Brian. Matt Finkston says, game over. Oh, man, Chad Carter just said firewater on me. It sounds like he's been listening to the On Cue Broadcast Network. Well, thank you for listening. If you've been sharing it with all those people who have your beautiful cues, then what you've got is a monster list of people watching the On Cue Broadcast Network. Thank you. In other words, what I mean is, if you haven't shared it, Chad. Well, like I said, I've seen a lot of great work. We did a lot of our cue making for the purposes of figuring out a lot of playability kinds of issues, not so much for making them beautiful and collectible and, well, and what we got was, as a result, I have 3 cues that were made by me, so I'm happy about that. Most valuable cues in the world to me. Not worth the price of the wood to anybody else. Ooh, Ooh, I want to see some Scotch doubles one pocket. That'll be good. That's what they should do. Blind draw Scotch doubles one pocket. Oh yeah, we do. I got all the time in the world. I can sit here and talk and talk and talk for hours about Scotch doubles one pocket. I mean, I'd like to see like a 3 come in here and play. Some poor guy would get a 3 playing Scotch doubles one pocket. Someone get me. They'd be in a weird situation because I do all that early game stuff real well. And then that late game, oh, that's not good. I'll tell you what, he is really masterful in the way he works these patterns out. I get a feeling he's played this game a couple times. That right there, I thought you guys were a little bit premature in saying game, set, match, and game over online. That right there probably is going to do it. I'm starting to think even I could get out on this rack from this position, so if I can, then I think Jaybird will. Unless an asteroid flies through the top of O'Brien's, then you're going to have a 5-0 score final. I think Darrin Neal is going to come over and punch me in the face. I got that drink for you, Darrin, if you want one. All right, nice match by Jason McPhearson. That was one hell of a showing. Had some struggles with the break, but he managed to get by just fine. Corey Grant says, McPhearson ain't bad, which I guess I'll agree with that. Oh, I tell you what, that's not, they're not watching, are they? You never told them where to go, did you? Oh, well, that's on you. That's not even on me then. Okay, what you've got here is a giant scoreboard. Now, one thing I'll tell you about this giant scoreboard is, like a lot of things in the OnCue Broadcast Network, it was created